Alright, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make a movable door so that when you shoot it, it moves. And it's going to work in single player. We already have something that works in multiplayer, just a function door, but not in single player, and I figured out a way to do it, and I'm going to show you how to do it. And it's going to take 3 entities and a script, okay? I am going to make a function mover. A function mover will be scripted so that it can move up and down. And I'm going to trigger it with a function damageable, so that when I shoot the function damageable, the mover moves. Now, here's where it gets tricky. I am going to bind the damageable piece to the mover, so that when the mover moves, damageable moves with it. And that's how this whole thing is going to work, and we're going to tie it together with a trigger relay. So maybe that's a little confusing. It's going to make sense in just a minute, okay? So let's start by making our door, okay? This is going to be our door. I'm going to draw the door here. Okay, I'm going to trigger, this is what I'm going to make my door look like. I'm not going to get fancy in this tutorial, okay? There's our door. Now we want our door so that when we shoot the door, it moves. So this is going to have to become our function damageable, okay? So I'm going to right click it and turn this into my function damageable. There we go. Now let's give it a few items here. We need to give it a name. Let's give this a name of shoot damage, okay? Shoot DMG, okay? Name, shoot DMG. Let's give it a couple more things. Let's give it a health of 1, so that even if we punch it, it'll trigger this thing to work, okay? And there's one more important thing. We need to give it a count of -1. That means this is not going to just work once. It's not going to work 5 times. It's going to work infinite number of times. -1 is infinite in this case, okay? And then we're going to eventually trigger our trigger relay. Let's target our shoot relay, okay? And let's put in that relay right now. I'm going to hit escape so I don't accidentally do anything wrong here. And I'm going to put in my trigger relay. There we go. And I've got to give it the name of shoot relay that we just targeted. There we go. There's our little arrow going through. That means we targeted it correctly. And now the trigger relay is going to call to the script that we're going to be running. So I'm going to type in call as a key. And the name of the script is going to be something that we make up right now. So let's say shoot door script. Shoot door script. That's going to be the name of the function within the script that we're running. I got to clarify that. Okay. Now, whenever we hit this door with a bullet or punch it or whatever, it's going to trigger the trigger relay to run this script. But the script is going to move the function mover. We don't have a function mover in here, so let's put in the function mover, okay? I am going to put a function mover inside of our door so that we don't see it. We don't need to see this function mover. So I'm going to put it right inside of the door. I'm going to hit 2 on the keyboard to change my grid size here so I have something to work with. And I am going to draw out something that fits right in the middle here. It's a nice size, right in the middle. Excellent. Okay, so let's hit, let's right-click it and turn this into our function mover. And let's give it a name. Let's give it this name. We'll call it shoot MVR. Okay? We'll call it shoot mover. Shoot MVR. And I'm going to write that down right now so I don't forget it. Shoot MVR. Alright, there we go. Now that we have a name, we can call to it to make it move up and down. Let's escape. Let's open up our notepad and let's write some scripts right now. Let's make the script that runs this whole thing, okay? First of all, we start out our script with void, and then we go into the name of the script, which we told the trigger relay was going to be shoot door script, my brackets, and now inside of these brackets is the definition of what's going to happen. Now, first of all, we need to call to our shoot door. Let's see, our shoot mover, right? Shoot MVR. We're going to take our shoot mover and we are going to wait 1 second. I'm following off of a script that I made for the doors earlier. Actually, what this means right here is it's not going to wait 1 second. I'm sorry. It is going to take 1 second to move to its position. What position is it going to move to? It is going to go shoot MVR dot move to PO I keep spelling that wrong. POS, move to position, move to POS. And then in here, I am going to be putting coordinates. I don't know what those coordinates are. I have to go back to the editor in a minute. So I'm going to finish up the script, and then we'll throw in the coordinates. Okay, here we're going to say system wait. We're going to say let's wait 3 seconds before closing the door. Okay. Shoot mover is now going to take 1 second to perform the next function, which is shoot MVR. It's going to move to position, which is going to be its original position. And one other very important thing I told you we're going to bind. Okay, right up here at the top, I'm going to say shoot DMG. That's our our function damageable. I'm going to say bind this. Let's see. Bind our shoot damageable to, inside these brackets, to our shoot MVR. Close it off with a semicolon. There we go. So now what I did was I said when this script is called, it will bind the damageable to the mover. Then it'll take the mover to move to this position 1 second. It's going to wait 3 seconds, and then it's going to take 1 second to move back to this position. Now let's find out what our positions are. Okay. Let's go in here and find out what the mover position is. I need to get this piece out of the way so I can select. Okay, I'm going to move the slider down here. I've said in some other tutorials that moving that slider can put in this frame that we don't want in here, but what it does is it resets the origin, the point of origin. That's what we need to know. That's the position that we're looking to put into our script over here. This is where we want it to end up. This is our final position, our resting place. Not where we're moving to the first time, but where we're moving to the second time, which is -60, 96, 56. Okay. Now, where are we going to move it up? We're going to move it up, let's see, our door is about 128 units, so we want to move actually, I think it's 96 units. And we're going to, so let's move this, let's see. I'll show you another trick to do this. We're going to take this item and we're going to move it up. So let's do it this way. I'm going to hit 4 on the keyboard to bring this back down to something I can understand a little bit easier. Since I have them both selected, they both should move, and I'm going to move it up to that position. So that's actually like a door with a lip of 8. Okay, so I'm going to deselect these things. I'm going to reselect this. I'm going to find out what the new origin is here. There's our new origin. See, I moved the slider and the origin updated itself. So I know that the final, that where I'm going to move it to the first time is going to be -60, 96, 160. And now let's move everything back to where it was originally, which is right down here on the floor. Oh, as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm making the door move up. You can make it move to the side. Actually, you can make this thing rotate. You can do whatever you want. I was just figuring going on up. Alright, I'm going to deselect that. I'm going to put this door back in, so now our function mover is back inside of the damageable. And finally, we've got to save our script here. So I'm going to say File, Save. Now we want to save this as the same name as our map. We haven't saved our map yet. Our map still says Test2. Let's save this under a new name. File. Oh. File. Save as. Move door. Okay, we're going to call this move door. So we're going to name this, and as I'm in here, I'll just notice that I spelled these wrong. I got to make sure I spell these things right. Okay. Save as. We're going to make sure we save it in the same folder as our map, which is our maps game MP here, in this case. And I'm going to call this move door.script. It's always a good idea to go back in here and double check to make sure it didn't save as a move door.script.txt, because that can screw things up. Looks like it named itself correctly for us. Now there's another piece that I have learned from other scripts, is that sometimes you want to set the world spawn for this map to call to our script, which would be go to the world spawn and set a key of script and a value of in this case it would be move door.script. But I have also found out that if they are named the same, you don't have to call to it in the world spawn because it's automatically going to load when you load the map. So I'm not even going to do it because I don't think it needs to be done. Right before I go on, I see that I made another misjudgment here. This is an underscore. It's supposed to be sys.wait3. There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead, make sure that this is saved. File save. I am going to compile and see if this thing works. Okay, here we are with the map loaded. Let's see, if I pull out my gun and shoot it, the door moves up. And it moves right back down. If I shoot it, it moves up again. I can even shoot it in midstream here, and it'll keep going up. And it should work no matter where I am. There we go. That's how you do it with the door. I hope that helps you in your mapping endeavors. Happy mapping.